recently watched K-Pop Demon Hunters, and I think it's safe to say I've become just a little obsessed. And by a little, I mean I've full-on spiraled. Since then, I have rewatched the film multiple times, I've listened to the soundtrack on repeat, created social media content about the movie, fell down the K-pop rabbit hole, more on that later, and even decided to teach myself Korean. All because of what I thought was just gonna be a silly little animated film. And it's not just me. People love this movie. The soundtrack is trending on Spotify, and the film has become Netflix's most watched animated movies of all time. Which of course made me wonder why. Why has K-Pop Demon Hunters exploded in popularity when so many animated films and even blockbuster franchises have been struggling to find their audiences? So today I want to dive into why a film that celebrates self-expression, healing, and music has become such a cultural phenomenon. Because I know I'm not the only one that found themselves doom scrolling through TikTok of choreography videos and Googling Stray Kids and ATEEZ at 2 a.m. after watching this movie. One of the most powerful things a story can do is let us process something that is emotionally complex and heavy without feeling like it's forcing us to. K-Pop Demon Hunters does this beautifully. The anime-influenced animation, the fight scenes choreographed like dance numbers, the absurdly catchy soundtrack, it all makes this movie feel fun. But underneath that, it's leading you through a very real conversation about shame, fear, and the scars we inherit. And what's brilliant is that it never drags you through the mud to do it. For every heavy moment, there's levity. For every gut punch of truth, a breath of laughter or connection. And this isn't the first time a story like this has struck a nerve. In fact, if I had a nickel for every time a musical animated film unpacked generational trauma and how to heal through it, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it's happened twice. In 2022, Encanto became a cultural phenomenon by tackling generational trauma and emotional repression through the lens of magical realism and catchy music. Audiences saw themselves in it and they responded. These aren't just kids' movies, they're modern fables. They tell us what we weren't given words for, and they do it in a way that feels safe. So why do these stories hit us so hard? Let's take a closer look at the heart of K-Pop Demon Hunters and why its message might be exactly what so many of us needed to hear. To really understand why K-Pop Demon Hunters hit so deeply, we have to talk about something we usually don't like to talk about, and that is shame. According to researcher Brene Brown, shame is the intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. That is the exact lie we watch the characters in this film wrestle with. Whether they're trying to earn love through perfection, hide the parts of themselves that feel broken, or carry guilt that was never theirs to begin with. Brene Brown warns us that perfectionism is a self-destructive and addictive belief system. It says, if I look perfect and do everything perfectly, I can avoid the painful feelings of shame, judgment, and blame. That belief drives several of the characters, and it almost destroys them. It's no coincidence that Encanto has become a massive hit just a few years earlier, streaming over 27.4 billion minutes in 2022. That story also tackles the weight of inherited pain, about trying to be enough, about fearing that if people knew the truth about us, they wouldn't stick around. If we can share our story with someone who responds with empathy and understanding, shame can't survive. Here's the thing, I think a lot of us struggle to accept pieces of ourselves and our story. We try to hide the parts of us that feel unlovable because we think it will save us from rejection and shame. But the truth is that darkness can only exist without the light. And when a movie shows us that kind of emotional light, something changes. We start asking deeper questions. We start looking for more stories, more voices, more music that help us feel that same kind of understood. And I think that's exactly why K-Pop Demon Hunters has led thousands of viewers straight into the world of K-pop. The connection fans feel with K-pop idols isn't just about the music, it's about the message. It's in how idols speak directly to their fans, how they share their fears, their gratitude, their joy. In a culture where many of us grew up feeling emotionally distant or overlooked, K-pop creates a space that feels safe and personal. Songs like Hollow by Stray Kids are a wonderful example of this. It layers confessions of self-doubt and emptiness under bright melodies and playful production. You're dancing along, singing at the top of your lungs, and quietly realizing, wait, I think I feel this. The genre has always known how to make people feel held, even if only for 3 minutes at a time. But this closeness and connection, the way idols feel like friends, and the way they offer themselves so openly, can come at a cost. Because when your whole identity becomes someone else's healing, the pressure to never crack, never fall, never fail can be overwhelming. When you're given so much emotional light from someone, it becomes easy to forget that they're also carrying their own shadow. In a system where public image is everything, idols are expected to be perfect. Relatable but not messy, emotional but not disruptive, always grateful, always smiling, always available. And that's why K-Pop Demon Hunters feels so radical, because it tells us something that idols themselves often can't say out loud. You are allowed to be more than what others need from you. It doesn't dismiss the magic of performance, it honors it. But it also says you're not just the magic you give. You're a person, and that's enough. My hope is that this movie would open up a space for something new. That maybe, just maybe, this next wave of K-pop culture won't just celebrate what idols give, but the people they are when the lights go down. It's my hope that we begin to honor their humanity with the same passion that we honor their performance. Because the stories that allow us to feel accepted shouldn't come at the cost of someone's ability to feel whole. When I sat down to watch K-Pop Demon Hunters, I was not expecting a cultural awakening. What I got was something that challenged me to look deeper at how I treat myself, how I connect with others, and how I engage with the stories and people who shape me. If this movie has stayed with you too, I would encourage you to keep going. Keep finding those voices and those stories that make you feel heard and understood. And support artists that remind us that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength. I want to know why you loved K-Pop Demon Hunters so much and what was your favorite moment from the movie. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe below for more content. I'll see you next time. Bye!